This time, we're seasoning the cheese. This is the OSMcast. Welcome to the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. I'm Basil.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Douglas.
And that's us. Wait, hold on. We also have a guest. Tobias, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Tobias. I think you just said that, but that's who I am. Hello.
You may have heard his sultry voice on the Third Impact Anime podcast.
So sultry. So
a long
voicey.
time ago, but yes.
Look, I'm sure there'll be an episode released at some point whenever Austin can get to it. But that is not this podcast. This podcast is the OSMcast, where we talk about awesome things and we plug awesome stuff like our Discord and Patreon, which is important things considering what we'll eventually be talking about, which we'll explain later. But for now, we're going to do our moments of awesome.
It's a moment of awesome.
I'm so glad to know that when Kevin isn't here, that Dylan is who picks up the role of singing the little intros.
It's an OSMcast staple.
It's true.
Well, so we need to have it. Where is Kevin? Why isn't he here?
Because
Well,
he didn't eat the burger.
Why
it's
didn't
true.
he eat the burger?
I don't know, man.
Maybe he was too busy diving into a dungeon.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible. See, my mode of awesome, it's called Dungeons Encounters, where
Oh.
you go into this dungeon. It is the first game directed by Hiroyuki Ito, who designed the active time battle system in Final Fantasy IV that they more or less used up until Final Fantasy IX. He also directed Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IX, and he helped finish off Final Fantasy XII. And this is his first game since then that he has actually been like the director of. This is his sort of vision. And the plot is, well, there's this terrible labyrinth, and everyone who goes in dies. But monsters are coming out of it, so someone needs to go beat this labyrinth. So this academy has been built at the mouth of this labyrinth, and they're constantly chunking people in there trying to beat this dang gum labyrinth. And you are playing those adventurers going into this labyrinth. Now, it looks like, as far as graphics go, it kind of looks like a crossword puzzle. Where you see you see all the blocks, and you see the paths that you can take, and as you walk down the path, you paint it, and there's various numerical symbols on this map that indicate like encounters, or learning abilities, or a shop. Like, it's very minimalistic, but it works. And the battle system is also graphically very minimalistic, but it's ATB. It's active time battle. It's what you've been playing, again, since Final Fantasy IV, where your bar fills up, you choose an action, and then you do the action. The enemies, their bars fill up, they do their action. Like, it's... What is interesting is that because everything graphically is so, like, dialed down, very simplified, everything is really about the gameplay of this game, and it's a really good iteration of the active time battle system. What I find neat is that you actually have your HP, PP, and MP, and it's like PP is PP.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for one of us to comment on that.
I might even be wrong about the actual thing. It's anyways, you got physical points, magical points, and those are actually like in the battle. if you get hit with either one gets hit by 0, like for example, you get hit with physical stuff, if your physical account goes to 0, then when they hit you, they actually start taking off your HP.
Okay.
And then if your HP goes to 0, you die.
Yeah.
And if you die in the game, you die for real. But not really. But like the enemy, one enemy can hit you for HP, but your MP, or your physical, HP, or your magical HP, again, those have to be hit down to 0, then your actual HP takes it. But if the enemy hits you once physically, or you hit them, or they hit you then magically, those are 2 accounts. And for it to work, they had to bring it down to 0, and those, before they can actually take out your actual hit points. And the same thing goes with you against them. Like, I was fighting one enemy, where I was like, oh, sweet, they don't have any physical stuff. They only have magical points to take down. So I'll just use a physical attack, but I kept whiffing. Like, clearly their agility was super high, so you actually couldn't hurt them that way. So you had to use magical. It was red herring. It's a very clever little system, and it's been a really, really cool, like, nice going to bed. I'll play some dungeon encounters, map out a floor or 2, and then call it a night. It's been really, really great for that. I've really been enjoying it. There's like not much of a storyline. Like, each character actually has a own little backstory, like text they have. And I know at some point you actually will meet further dungeon folks in the dungeon who have already been delving before your party gets in there, including at least one isekai hero, who I feel really bad for because he's just this guy now stuck in this video game, but he's clearly not the main character. He's just a character. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, just kind of looking at pictures of it now on their website, because I saw someone mention it, but hadn't really looked into it myself. You're right, the graphics are very pared down. The actual map is like sort of a 3D, it's in 3D space, but the dungeon itself is all flat. But once you get into battles, it's very simple. They're just, you have your profile picture, your stat card, and that's it. There's no actual character sprites or models hitting each other. It looks like it's pared down, like pen and paper D&D style game.
Yeah, it's definitely like if you want chunky JRPG gameplay, like if you want that old school gameplay, and that's what you're in for. Congratulations, here it is, and it's good. Also, if you want classical renditions of classical tunes, but all on guitars, because again, they were very cheap of making everything about this game. And they'll tell you that it was overseen by Uematsu. Clearly, He was like, all right, take this Beethoven or how do you pronounce his name? Chopin. Yeah, take that, but put guitars on it.
I mean, I call him Chopin all the time, but it is Chopin.
Like, yeah, take Chopin, but make all his stuff not violins, guitars. Go.
It's not violins, he's piano.
Like, all his cymbals, guitars.
he was a big piano composer.
Yeah, those harpsichords, guitars now. Let's go. All right, Dylan, what you got?
So, this being a food podcast, this is a secret food podcast anyway. We've already discussed that. I'm going to pick Joshua Weissman's YouTube channel. He does cooking videos. He's also got a cookbook out. Came out recently. And I've really gotten into watching these the past year or so. I haven't made a whole lot from it. He kind of has 3 series. One where he'll just pick a particular type of food or a recipe and do it. He'll do one where he'll take like a classic dish and make it cheaper and do it for like as cheaply as possible. And then he's got one series where he will take a restaurant item or something you can buy in the grocery store and make it from scratch better. And it's just real. I kind of like the way he does the videos, where it's all kind of about like building up skills and explaining how you can make all of this from scratch if you want. You don't have to, but it's going to be better if you do this thing yourself or that thing yourself. You can kind of pick your skill level. If you get his cookbook, he starts out with like, here's how to make bread, here's how to make a hamburger bun, here's how to make all these sauces, and just like building on top of it. So definitely interesting. I feel like I've learned some stuff. Like I said, I haven't made a whole lot. I've made like his mochi flour pancakes. He's got a burger bun recipe that's really good that you start out with. I think it's called a tangzu, where you mix the flour and the milk and the water beforehand and you heat it up into a paste. So yeah, really short videos, easy to 10-15 minutes, easy to kind of watch several at a time.
Mochi flour pancakes sounds awesome.
Or not pancakes, waffles. But yeah.
Still sounds good.
Yeah, still sounds pretty good. Like I for some reason think that pancakes would be better, mostly because you could put like red bean paste in the middle and fold them over.
Ooh.
And that would be so delicious. That would basically just be mochi at that point.
Yes. I think what he actually did in that video, he did 3 types of waffles and 3 types of toppings, and the one he actually used was like a bananas Foster, which like I'm not going to set something on fire in the kitchen. I don't want to do that. That's scary. It definitely would, I think, work as a waffle, because I think you actually like, he recommends putting it in a pastry bag and like squirting it into the waffle maker, and that's just more complicated than your usual waffles.
Well, now it sounds like we're talking about baking, and well, someone has already turned that into their entire side hustle. So I think we're going to move on to Jen.
It's true, and I love it. And I'm actually glad that I have time for my side hustle now, because it's one of those things where, while I know I have room to grow my skills, I really love it, and it's just something that has been keeping me sane from cutting people. I feel it's important to have something that you can focus on besides being a worker drone. And that's what I've been working on lately. That's been my moments of awesome, because I'm trying to get back to baking and reading and having time to hassle the cat and my husband John and poor Dylan. But yeah, I haven't really had much time to focus on media stuff so much, so I don't have like a particular thing that I've had to talk about. But I am excited about the Animal Crossing stuff that's coming up.
Oh my gosh, that looks so exciting.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm so hyped for it.
I knew you would be, because golly, your island is like one of the best islands I've ever seen.
And I haven't touched it in so long. Like, I feel so bad. I've abandoned all my little villagers, and I'm sure they're upset with me, but
I mean, they'll make you feel guilty about it. They sure will. But yeah.
they sure will. Like I'm just feeling so anxious about going back and all of them being upset with me and guilt tripping me that I kind of wonder if there isn't a way that I can just quietly like evict all of them without having to confront any of them face to face.
Don't do that. What you do is you go and get them gifts, and like after they get over that whole "Hey, where'd you go?" you give them a gift, and then they're happy again.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
like I just have to endure it for like a day, and then it'll be fine.
Exactly.
But I'm a coward, and I need to run away.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I wish there was just a way to like turn that off. Like, could you just turn off the guilt setting?
That would be good. I wish we could do that in life too. You know.
I know.
Okay, but anyway, I'm done with my random assortment of moments of awesome,
All right,
scattered as they may be.
Doug.
Okay, well, I wrote down that my moment of awesome was going to be Squid Game. But instead, can I make it sex?
Yes?
I'm intrigued.
Okay, then I'm going to say that my moment of awesome is sex. That sex is really great. That sexual reproduction, particularly of mammals, is just really just an ingenious method. Like, it's so brilliant how it went down.
Any particular inciting incident of why this has now become the reproduction of mammals is your moment of awesome?
No, not really. Like, I feel that we haven't really talked about how great that is. So, this seems like when I have nothing to contribute other than Squid Game, that maybe instead I could talk about something even more blatantly obvious. Just, it's just the best. Like, it gives that super, like, dopamine rush that we're all craving.
Where's the lie, though?
What?
I said, where's the lie, though?
What lie?
Right.
What lie? It's true. It's all completely true.
And remember, Tobias, you paid for this.
Yeah, and
think
I gotta
we're all
follow
paying
that
for
too.
this.
Okay, Tobias, your turn. What's better than sex? Go on.
What is better than sex? Oh, wow. Well, I was getting hyped to talk about Squid Game, but...
Okay. Then I'll actually talk about Squid Game. Squid Game is good. You should watch it.
Yep, completely agree. I was a little hesitant about the ending, but I kind of want to see how they take it before I give it a judgment.
Oh, well, I'm actually not at the ending yet. I'm actually only in episode 7.
Okay.
But it is... So, it follows the formula of, like, these death game kind of anime pretty down to the letter. Like, there's been a lot of things where, like, as I've been watching it going, oh, this is going to happen, like, this and this and this are going to happen because it's following the formula so directly. But that's not a bad thing. Like, it's so well done. Like, the visuals of it are just absolutely stunning, and that is what I think it does really better than a lot of, like, TV shows that I've seen recently. Like,
Yeah,
for a
I completely
live-action
agree.
TV show, for it to be shot as well as it's shot, it's just really quality.
Exactly. I think on top of the plot, the thing I really enjoy about Squid Game in particular is it feels like it's a lot more anti-capitalist than even some of the other stuff. It's pretty blatantly anti-capitalist. Like, it really pushes in your face that, hey, all these people, you can judge them as good or bad people, but all their problems really stem from, being humans ground down by capitalism. And I gotta appreciate how blatant that is in the series.
Yes. Yeah, that's also true. It didn't take very long into the series before I started questioning, like, so what are some of the themes, like, the themes that I'm seeing. It's definitely anti-capitalism. I think around about episode 4 or 5, I started picking up on the North Korea, South Korea dichotomy a little bit and wondering if there was a commentary on that, but I think I may have been overreaching on trying to, like, look for insight on that. But the characters are all very compelling, too.
Yeah.
Like, when something does characters well, it just does it well, and Squid Game does it.
Yeah, all the characters are pretty great.
Yeah, so I recommend watching it. I want to get a mask with, like, a little block on it. Again, I'm only in episode 7, is the one I just watched before coming over to do this podcast. I finally got to prove to Barry that I actually know something. Like, that was nice. The episode where they're jumping from, like, glass to glass, and, like,
Right.
one pane of glass is tempered and one pane of glass is not, and I was like, oh, like, you can tell through the sound is the way to tell.
Right.
And Barry's just, like, going, no, that's not true, but that turned out to be a major point in the story, so I felt vindicated.
Unfortunately, Barry would probably be dead. If he were in the
Yeah,
Squid
Barry
Game.
would be dead, I would be alive.
But Tobias, where would you be with a moment of awesome?
Well, right off the bat, you mentioned crosswords earlier with Dungeon Encounters. I want to give a quick shout out to my new favorite YouTube channel, The Daily Solve with Chris Remo. It's a guy that just every day he completes the New York Times crossword, and his daily streak is right now something like 910. These sort of simultaneous solves, and like it's really entertaining as someone who sort of kind of dabbled in crosswords for like a month, like a decade or so ago. He's not, I wouldn't say he's not like not intelligent or anything. He certainly is, but he's not like a genius at these. So he takes his time solving these. He could have explains his reasoning with the answers he gives. And there's plenty of times where it's, I feel like I know the obvious answer, but he takes his time on it and takes the time to sort of come back around to it. And it's just kind of a nice zen way to start my day in the morning with my coffee is watching this guy do the crossword puzzle. I would highly recommend that. Another quick shout out. I've not really been watching a whole lot of anime lately, but I would recommend Ranking of Kings. Episode 2 just came out on Funimation by Studio Wit. So if you're a fan of sort of Attack on Titan and some of their works, I would check that out. It's more of a low-key comedy about a deaf prince in a sort of medieval fantasy setting. It's just really, the visuals are kind of stunning. The animation's really well done. The sort of little fight scenes they've got are really well animated, and I think it's going to be one of those modern hits. So I hope that's true as I finish it. But my real moment of awesome, I just subscribed to the Criterion channel earlier this week after I've been eyeballing it for a bit and just kind of watching a couple movies that I've been missing out on for a while. But because we are, in the season, I've been trying to watch some horror films, and I checked out the 1922 silent pseudo-documentary film Hexan, or just The Witch or Witches, a super old film about witches, and sort of goes through the history of sort of medieval, witches and sort of the witch hunts. And there's these really entertaining segments where these sort of dramatized encounters, and there's a lot of these sort of costumes which don't really hold up, sort of devil costumes and witch costumes and whatnot. But for the time, for being literally 100 years old at this point, as of next year, it looks really well done. And the transfer that the Criterion channel has is also really well done. So if you think you can sit for a sort of a silent film, sort of an interesting old-timey look at witch mythology, I would very, very much recommend Hexan. I did follow that up with a more modern movie, the 2016 Visit from the Incubus, which is buck wild is the only way I could describe this movie. It's this little 30-minute long, very surreal, very campy film. It sort of takes place in the Old West, the Wild West, and the main actresses, and even the titular incubus just have this really campy, overly dramatic way of speaking, and like the costumes don't even make sense. They're in the Wild West, and we have they're in like a saloon, old-timey saloon, but a bunch of cowboys come in and they're wearing like clothes pulled off the rack from Target. Like they're wearing like khaki pants and just button downs, and like it's wild. It's very much camp in that it takes itself very seriously, but that it's not meant to be. And the devil has this musical number that is just god awful, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a really goofy movie. It's only like 30-40 minutes, so it doesn't take a whole lot of your time. But if you're into something very camp, very surreal, I would absolutely recommend A Visit from the Incubus by I think it's the director is Anna Biller, I believe is her name. But yeah, just watched that last night, and I'm still kind of thinking about it. It's some of those things that won't leave my mind for quite some time.
Can I change my moment of awesome again? You reminded me of something else I watched that was really good this week, and I can't believe I totally forgot about it until you started talking about this. But I watched The Haunting of Blythe Manor on Netflix, and that was really good.
Okay. I've watched the other ones, but not that one so far.
Well, I recommend that one. I think that's
awesome.
Yeah, I think it was pretty awesome.
Well, you know what else is awesome in life? Burgers. And custard and and curds. And, well, we're going to do an episode type that we haven't done in a very long time. We're going to talk about a restaurant. We'll be right back, and then we're talking about Culver's. This is the OSMcast.
The best part of being from Wisconsin? We've got the best cheese.
You're only going to make as good a cheese as the quality of milk you get from your farmers.
This is world-class cheese right here. Nice little sharpness to it.
Very good.
I like that. This is Culver's new 3-cheese ButterBurger.
Midwest raised beef topped with real Wisconsin cheddar, Swiss, and American, all in a lightly buttered, toasted bun.
Welcome to Delicious.
Okay, so we are back, and we're talking about Culver's. It is a restaurant, and I realized, I was like, we've done one of these before, way back. It's September 8th of 2014. And I went back to go listen to the start of that episode to realize, why did we do it? Ah, yes, Doug was hungry.
Oh. Okay.
Like, the entire reason we did Melon Mushroom as a podcast was that it was recording night. You apparently had forgotten we were recording, but what you really wanted was pizza, so you convinced us what we should be doing is go to Melon Mushroom, eat some pizza, then do a podcast about how we ate some pizza, and we did. And
Excellent. Good to know that I have stayed true to brand throughout the years.
It's true. Well, remember, this also did start a minor pizza war amongst other podcasts. I remember both the Reverse Thieves and the AGC podcast got really mad because someone, I think Kevin, said that the true god of pizza lived in the South and not in the North. And that we had the superior pizza versus New York or Jersey style pizza. And boy, when you have people who live in New York and Jersey hear that, it was...
Kevin.
So...
My sweet summer child.
And if memory really serves, I'm pretty sure I was the one who got most of the ire.
Yeah.
Because as the de facto face of the podcast, I get to take the hits. But this is not that kind of story. This actually started on our Discord. So again, join the OSMcast Discord. You never know what will happen. Where fellow OSMcaster Charlie, in the midst of doing all his various things he has to do in life, mostly being a cool dad, who's actually cool and not like a cool dad. But he's a cool dad. Anyways, he mentioned this whole CurderBurger thing that Culver's was doing, and he implored everyone to go get one and tell him all about it. And I said, cool, give me money so I can afford to go. And he gives me the exact dollar and change amount for a burger. To which I went, that ain't going to, pay the gas. And then out of nowhere, Tobias goes, okay, so actually how much? And I had to sit down and actually figure it out. And yeah, it was about that much. And so Tobias literally paid for this podcast.
See, the thing that I've learned is that when you sit me and Charlie, and even occasionally Dylan, in the same virtual room, there's a joke that will be taken too far. And this is probably the furthest one of those jokes has gone.
It actually costs something. So
Yeah.
money changed hands.
I also want to thank you for your generosity, Tobias. Like I did set it up so that you could pay for my burger, but I wasn't expecting you to. I was going to go along for funsies anyway. But you still paid for my burger. Thank you very much.
No, this is art has a cost, a very human, real cost. That's what patrons of the arts, such as myself, have to deal with.
So
I was getting a top quality audio file, and here we are.
And I was like, yeah, we'll do this. And I first thought, well, I guess I could just send the audio directly to Tobias. And then I paused and went, wait, Tobias is a fellow podcaster. Why don't I just have Tobias on the episode?
Perfect.
I don't have to send him jack squat now. He's already hearing it. I can still send you the raw audio file if you really want it.
I'll just download it from the podcast feed and get your numbers up.
There you go. There you go.
I know how
True-
this game's played.
True patron of the arts, right there. So, Culver's, or apparently as it's actually called, the Culver Franchising System, LLC, is what they call a casual fast food restaurant chain, and it operates primarily in the Midwestern United States of America. Its big thing is it's ButterBurgers and frozen custard, but they also offer other things, and they've got about, apparently, 808 restaurants in 25 states, an additional 35 under construction, if you believe Wikipedia.
Why would Wikipedia lie about a fast food restaurant? A casual fast food restaurant, which implies the existence of a formal fast food restaurant.
What do you think Steak and Shake is?
That's not formal.
It's formal fast
It's
food restaurant.
semi-formal.
It's a
Maybe.
formal
I will
fast
give
food
you
restaurant.
Yeah, have you seen those outfits, seen those uniforms? Like, you got to dress up to go to Steak and Shake, or at least work there. So yeah, apparently this did start out in Wisconsin at Sauk City, and now they're all over the place. We have them in Madison, Alabama. We have them in Florence, clearly near places in Tennessee,
There's one in Knoxville.
Knoxville.
And I assume there's probably one in the Carolinas areas.
Yep. They built one about a year out from me leaving Asheville. Still relatively new there. But the nearest one here in the Triad area is about 45 minutes from where I live. So, I can take jokes too far, but, driving 50 minutes to get a burger is a little beyond my abilities.
I drove about 20 or 30 minutes, so it's not like... It was... I did have a moment where I was like, do I really want to go through with this? How much do I want to go through with this?
Well,
I didn't have to drive at all.
Yes, that's what I was there for.
I just
Still travel time.
I summoned Basil and I played on my iPad the entire time.
But also where I live, it's pretty much 20 to 30 minutes anywhere I go in life. So time is now irrelevant to me. Although I will mention I was on the Taiku podcast the other day recording. We're doing an episode on Remain, which, sidebar, very good sports anime. Definitely recommend anyone who likes the concept of sports anime, but also water polo, or the concept of a guy just lost half his good chunk of his memories and doesn't know what to do with his life. It's good. And I'm talking to Corey, who I think now lives in California, but he was originally from Iowa. And I mentioned, we're doing an episode on Culver's, and he paused and went, Did you get the CurderBurger? And I went, yes. He's like, damn it. The closest one to me is 6 hours away. So.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he did not get to enjoy the CurderBurger. But there's all sorts of burgers, because the CurderBurger only happened once ever. But they have all other kinds of things, like, for example, ButterBurgers. Which, what are ButterBurgers? Well, they're hamburgers topped with butter.
It's a really questionable name.
I was wondering what a ButterBurger was and why that was different from just like a hamburger.
It sounds absolutely disgusting. Like, you think the name, I just think of something drenched in butter. Like, oh, I don't know that. I don't know about that, man.
Well, it can be on the burger, or they could just butter up the bottoms of the buns.
Oh yeah. That's
like,
what it is.
I thought most
absolutely.
places buttered the bottoms of the buns. Like, I thought that was like a standard practice.
It's not that different from a regular burger, from what I can tell. So,
I mean,
it really is just kind of a marketing thing.
yeah.
And for me, for the actual burgers, they really remind me of just like a better Steak and Shake, like steak burger, whatever they call those things, smash burgers, whatever.
Yes, it did remind me of the Steak and Shake, burger, steak burger. Is it made from steak? Like, is it like actually a better material of beef than the standard like ground chuck.
Who knows?
Nobody knows. Well, I think it was a steak burger. Like, I think it was like out of a higher grade beef is what I think. Otherwise,
Yeah, it had that chopped texture.
yeah. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Right. And it was very well griddled and had the little crispy edges and such.
Yeah, I personally I felt like it was too thin.
I could see
Like,
that.
Like, normally I'm complaining that, like, places are putting too much meat on it. I don't want that much meat. But this
I
is the
think a
first
lot
time
of-
I've ever had a burger that I felt like it was too thin. But I think it was because, the edges were, like, griddled, like you said.
I think a lot of their burgers have 2 patties on them, but the CurderBurger has just a large cheese curd patty, and that was probably why it was a single beef patty.
Oh.
I in fact did ask the lady who was taking my order, who apparently, coincidentally, was from Wisconsin, and she very much enjoyed the CurderBurger and was surprised when she heard up north with her family and friends and stuff up there that they ran out within an hour of opening.
Oh, wow.
Like
I really expected them to be out as busy as it was there, but they weren't. So okay, and also the whole cheese curd thing. It makes more sense now that I know that they started in Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin cheese curds, when they're fresh, are so good.
Well,
They
can I tell you
squeak.
guys... Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, I was done. They squeak.
Okay.
When you bite them, they squeak.
Well, I need to tell you guys, I had no idea what a cheese curd was. Like, I was, in fact, envisioning something more like mozzarella. I was expecting it to be like extremely, mushy and firm at the same time, slightly pickled and fermented.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh no, what have I signed up for? I was just gonna come along and laugh at Basil. Now I have to eat it too.
I think the key word with all of the cheese curds that they have is fried.
Yes. But it was really, really good. Like, I really liked the cheese curd. The fried cheese curd patty. It was really nice. After you broke the outside frying, like, it dripped and, like, gooped everywhere in a way that was the way cheese is supposed to be.
So I had a very different experience, but I think it was because I brought the burger back home, did not heat it back up, and ate it, and so the cheese curd had kind of solidified. And so it wasn't bad, it just wasn't... There wasn't a whole lot of taste to it. Like, you could taste the fried edges, but it didn't have the strong taste that, like, a cheeseburger would have. Like, if you eat a cheeseburger with a slice of melted cheese on there, it has a very different flavor than just a hamburger. And this, to me, tasted like just a hamburger for the most part.
Oh, then your mistake was clearly not having it right there in the place, because it, like, as we got it very fresh, it was the cheese curd was all melty. It was all, like, delicious. Like all my fears about it were for naught. Like,
I had to wait.
That's kind of interesting because I've had this individual serving sizes of the cheese curds before, and they are definitely, like you said, more akin to mozzarella sticks in that regard, a little more firmer. And even the taste is a little closer to mozzarella. So it's very interesting to hear that on this specific patty that they made, that it sort of melts in such a way.
yeah, I felt it was a little bit more. It was more like cheddar than it was like. It was more like cheddar than it was like mozzarella, which those are pretty too far apart cheeses, but. I think somebody told me that it was Colby.
That would make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Is what it actually was. Is that's what the curd was? But I
it's
don't
kind
know.
of milder.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody. I've never heard of a cheese curd before, so I could be completely wrong.
It is apparently made up a blend of yellow and white cheddar cheese,
Oh.
surrounded by crispy seasoned breadcrumbs.
Good job, Basil.
All I know is it reheated in my frying pan, so I got the gooey texture, even though my burger had to wait for me for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I tried a little bit of it, and the taste of Jen's reheated burger, the taste definitely came through then. And I think I probably would have had a better idea of what to expect if I'd had the cheese curds. I don't even think I've had the cheese curds there. So I was just kind of going in without any idea of what I was looking for.
And granted, again, this was apparently this was an April Fool's joke that Culver's had that got a petition. Everyone's like, no, you can't offer a gigantic thing of fried cheese to top a burger and then not give that to us. You can't do these things. That's illegal.
It wasn't as huge. Like, it was the size of a hamburger patty. It wasn't as, like, just insanely large as you're probably imagining with a gimmick like that, with, like, an April Fool's joke like that.
No, they actually turned it into, like, a good burger.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing that I want to be absolutely sure that we discuss as we're talking about Culver's and my first time going into a Culver's ever, and that is the atmosphere of the Culver's. And I don't know if it's unique to the one that we ate at specifically, but it really felt like a repurposed Captain D's.
It's been a few years since I've actually been inside, but I kind of get what you're going for there.
Like they even had like nautical paintings up on the wall. Like, and I say paintings, but I'm sure they were prints of whatever art they had purchased. But like the walls were painted that same kind of like gray blue that Captain D's tend to be painted. And so I was overwhelmed by it. I wasn't expecting it, and especially since our Culver's, the one that we have here, I'm pretty sure is a new building. Like, I'm pretty sure it is not a converted Captain D's, and so it felt really awkward that it felt so strongly like it had once been a Captain D's.
Yeah, no, that's a freshly built building. Like, we finally got a fancy Kroger's over there in Madison, and yeah, they built the Culver's right there along with it. Like, it was parking lot for a while, and then it became a Culver's. So yeah, that's brand spanking new.
This is going to make me sound really old, but the Culver's in Knoxville is built in a new shopping center that sprung up several years ago, and I remember when it was a field.
Oh.
It's okay, Dylan. I remember most of that area of Madison was a field.
Oh, yeah, nothing makes you feel old like recounting that this was a field. Oh, like I drive around where I'm living in Huntsville now, and I'm like, this was all cotton fields.
Culver's as far as the eye can see.
Oh, yeah, but it was remarkably like a Captain D's inside. Like, you know, fish-themed paintings and everything.
It's really interesting because I can kind of see the color grading. I completely agree that it's got that sort of really light like, blue gray color scheme to it.
That faded navy blue and creamish off white. You know, they're very tasteful colors together. But in a restaurant setting, that has just come to mean Captain D's. And then you pair it with like fish art on the walls. Like, what else am I supposed to think this place is? They were only missing the portholes. They didn't have any portholes anywhere.
Also, we should also point out that when we were eating our CurderBurgers, Barry had fried shrimp.
Yes, he did. I think that was subliminal messaging from the walls and the decor.
But also in his defense, he said they were very good fried shrimp. He said it was about as good as a fried chicken as you can get from a restaurant that isn't like fancier shrimp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seem to recall them having a selection of other, non-burger things. Like there's like pot roast on the menu, if I recall. Like a lot more than just your typical burger fare.
They have soup. I remember seeing that on the sign outside. Ask them about their soup or something.
I thought the ice cream, which I think was actually that other gelato, but it was very good. I liked what I had of it.
Yeah, their big thing is that it's a frozen custard, which
yeah.
which is similar to ice cream, but it's also made with eggs, along with the cream and sugar.
I got a frozen custard for John, but I don't know that I've tried their frozen custard.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
So good.
I probably, again, it's been years since I've been there. I probably have had it.
Like, no, frozen custard is like just slightly not. Again, their burgers are like better Steak and Shake burgers. Frozen custard is just like a little bit better than ice cream.
So we're all in agreement that this place is better than Steak and Shake.
Except for the 24 hours at an anime con, yes.
Right.
Can you imagine a Culver's being outside of AWA, outside the Sheraton, at like 2 a.m. with the cosplay kids, ordering CurderBurgers, concrete mixers?
All I can think
so many
of,
costumes would be ruined.
all I can think of is there's a Jack in the Box near where MTAC has been held, in the before times, few years in the before times. And, man, we had so many weird stories from that place. And so I'm not sure. I'm envisioning something less utopian than I think you all are envisioning.
But, yes, Dylan, you're correct. They also feature pork loin sandwiches, beef pot roast sandwiches, a grilled Reuben melt, a harvest veggie burger, as well as a chopped steak or beef pot roast dinners.
Okay, I think I've had the Reuben and something like a melt there before, and I wasn't really impressed. As impressed with that as I was the standard issue burger.
But no, I think they're the money makers, as it were, are definitely their butter sandwiches, butter burgers, and their custards, possibly with a side of cheese curds. But we've also even already talked about the CurderBurger. Or anything else immediately calling out to you about Culver's that we may want to cover before we move on to the next segment?
I guess I actually did like the burger. Like I was saying earlier that because the curd had cooled down, I didn't get much of the cheese, but aside from that, it was actually a really good burger. Like the pickles and the onions and the mayo were just right. It wasn't, I don't know how that compares, but it had just enough bite without like going overboard and being too much. So yeah, I would definitely get a burger again. I would probably try the cheese curds just to see what I should have been expecting and was missing out on.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think I felt a little bit disappointed in the burger, like, to be perfectly honest, because I felt, again, the patty was just so thin. Maybe next time I should order a double CurderBurger, because it didn't feel like there was enough meat on it. But it was very good otherwise. Like, the vegetables were very fresh. It did have a good balance of, like, mayo and stuff. But could have used a little bit thicker of a patty, and I'm not used to saying that. That feels weird.
I feel like, again, it started out as an April Fool's joke. It's hard to match the image of a burger with just, like, a huge slab of cheese on the top. Like, it's really hard to do that. I don't know that you would have wanted that, though. So it was good for what it was.
Yeah.
It's the best way you could do it without, like, just making something completely insane.
Right. I was kind of terrified that it was going to be an insane burger that was just grease dripping, sloppy mess, but it was very well put together. So mean, I very much enjoyed mine.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember now that I was asking the lady if I could get the CurderBurger as like a 2-patty burger, and she was like, no, it just comes with the one. But that cheese, the cheese patty, as it were, like while it wasn't gargantuous, it was the size of a burger. And once you include the breading and stuff, I think it was literally like the width of like 2 burgers.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not gargantuan, but it could have theoretically been its own like singular patty on a burger. Like, it's almost as if they were giving us like a patty of actual beef just as a bonus. We want to call this a burger, so we're not actually going to give you the burger meat too. But clearly, the star of that burger was supposed to be that cheese curd patty. All right, now we're going to take another short break. We're going to come back with our food manga reaction moments.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill ButterBurger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen Custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time. Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you.
Welcome to Delicious.
And we're back. So, if you've watched stuff like Food Wars, or Yakuza Japan, or read The Drops of God, or any sort of food manga or anime, you know, the real deal is in those sweet reaction moments where they take that bite and they are transported to somewhere else. But it's not like an isekai or anything. They come right back. So now, we're going to give you our moments when we either had that bite of CurderBurger, ButterBurger, maybe some custard. I don't know. Maybe they had such a really, really good thing of Mountain Dew on tap. I don't know. But I did when I tasted that sweet, sweet cheese curds. And then transition music. There I was. Fields. No. It reminds me of a con. Or driving home from an anime con. Where I saw this place and it said, hey, we got burgers. We also got custard. Oh, man, I like custard. Well, let's go. And we stepped in and it was very nice. And I suddenly it was like, damn, this is what Steak and Shake should be. Damn, this is really good. Hell yeah. Now, granted, this is actually my experience of going to a Freddy's, which is a different, Steak and Shake style burger place that also serves custard.
Oh, yeah.
But
Just recently got one of those.
yeah, they're also pretty good. But yeah, when I realized that you could have Steak and Shake, but actually good, dang. Also, yes, my father did truly love me. It was great. Dylan?
Again, as I said, I did not reheat this. It came home from a 20 or 30 minute car ride, and at first there was visible confusion because I did not get the cheese flavor I was promised. I did not get the cheese flavor that even a cheeseburger with a nice slice of melted cheese has, and that confused me. I understand that I should have reheated it. That was my fault. My bad, guys. But from there, like I said, the combination of like pickles and onions and mayo was just right. Like, this is the platonic ideal of what a pickle should be. All hamburgers should have this combination of vegetables on them.
All right, Jen, bring us into story time.
Yeah, I'm not one of the cool kids and I don't get the manga panel reactions, but I did, have that moment of, oh my gosh, this is a really good burger. Dylan, look at this. I reheated it. It's gooey. It's crazy. It's awesome. And like actually made him take a bite of mine because mine was reheated.
Yeah, I think I just got the curd, but I could definitely taste the difference.
Yeah, I had happy puppy syndrome for a second. It's like, look.
Oh no, like when we had it fresh, from the fryer to my mouth, it was as the cheese though dripping through, because it was a really, really nicely done for like breadcrumb crust. Like there was when it was fresh, there was something magical chomping into that cheese curd patty. But this isn't my story to tell now. It's now Doug's.
Okay. So, when I bit into that first bite of delicious CurderBurger, and it all filled my senses, the sight, the smell, the taste, the sound of it as I crunched into it, I was transported back in time as I recalled. See, the important thing to remember is that my swim team, my childhood swim team, was called the Sea Cows. We were in Lily Flag area, which is named after a famous cow who is far more influential and has affected more people's lives than I will ever be able to reach. And this great cow, Lily Flag, we named our swim team after her. So we were the Sea Cows. And I was the second runner-up on my team. So there was this one kid, he was really fast, and he always went to go swimming first. But then I followed him. I was second in place. And this particular swim meet, I actually outraced him, which shouldn't matter because he's on my team, but it still felt good that I was actually able to swim faster than the faster guy. And I won my swim race. And so afterwards, after everyone, we went to this little diner anyway, where they served hamburgers and ice cream, and we would get hamburgers and ice cream. And that is what it reminded me, except all of this is taking place in a Captain D's for some reason.
All right, well, Tobias, bring us home.
Well, I didn't have a CurderBurger this time, but I am thinking about the last time I was in Culver's before I left Asheville. It was a friend and myself. We had pretty much gone at the last possible moment, within 30 minutes of close. So we go there, we get our burgers, we sit down, and there was something sort of serene about being the only people in that dining room, eating our burgers, staring out into the inky blackness of the night, the bright lights of the city on the edge of our vision. If you've ever seen the painting The Night Owls, it felt kind of like that. Just, two people sitting there taking a moment to be in each other's presence while being separate in a way. Just bonding silently over some burgers and fried cheese bits and French fries as we scarfed down our burgers and enjoyed the last little spoonfuls of our custard and went on with our night afterward.
Yeah, the fries are actually pretty good too. I forgot to mention that the fries are pretty good. They're not the best fries in the world, but they're not the worst. They're pretty good.
Yeah. I
honestly didn't get anything else, partially because I figured this was going to be some giant, over the top burger, and I don't want to deal with this. I've got a doctor's appointment next week. I don't want this level of cholesterol and fat in my system. But yeah, I kind of wish I had, because it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It wasn't bad at all. It was actually on the good side.
Man, no, put that on the website right there, Dylan, for the OSMcast. It is better than I thought it'd be.
It's actually on the good side.
I mean, better in terms of not over the top. You can order this burger and fries and probably a custard, and you won't feel like you're overdoing it.
Mm-hmm.
You won't feel like the burger was too much by itself.
Actually good, nourishing food.
Once again, that should go on the website. Actually good, nourishing food.
Well, do you know how many places serve you food that doesn't feel nourishing at all? That you eat it and it has filled you up. You are no longer immediately hungry, but you don't feel good. So when I talk about a place that actually has good, nourishing food, I'm talking about the opposite of that. You go, you eat it, and now you feel better. That's the kind of food I thought it was.
Oh, no. I agree. I absolutely agree. I just think that's a really good thing to throw on someone's website. actually good, nourishing food.
It reminded me of Captain D's.
Which I can't eat anymore, by the way. I'm now deathly allergic to shrimp and things. So I can't eat at Captain D's, and I really want to. Like, I really love seafood, and I'm just so allergic to it now.
All right. So now we got to give Culver's OSMs Out of OSM. One big, fat, but juicy, gooey, good curd patty of awesome.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 4 OSMs out of awesome, because the letter D is the 4th letter of the alphabet.
I'm going to say one good burger with all the toppings.
How many awesomes are allowed?
As many as you want. Or as little as you want.
There are no rules.
There are no rules?
Just right.
The points are meaningless.
As many awesomes as they need, because that was a good burger.
All right.
Well, we still need Tobias's.
Okay. I'm going to say Culver's as a whole is better than 2009's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but not as good as 2003's Full Metal Alchemist.
Wow, that's some pretty high praise. Unless
that's also a really, really strong take of something.
We'll call it Full Metal Alchemist, the Culver of Shambhala. How about that?
Yes.
Oh, that takes me back. I think, was that the movie? Was it the Brotherhood movie that I watched? No, it was the Brotherhood movie that I watched with Daryl Surratt at Otakon one time. Like, that was, man, it's really, man, if you ever want to go to a movie theater and watch somebody watching a movie, Daryl Surratt's got the best reactions. Like, he really gets into watching movies.
Really? Okay.
Like, he'll start doing arm movements and stuff. He's like, yeah. Like, I was like, hell yeah, Daryl, you get that.
It's
Ed
so
did a cool
weird.
thing. I agree.
It's so weird that you're confusing those two movies, because I remember, like, those two series are way, way apart in my mind. Like, I can't imagine, I feel like this is a situation of, like, we're closer to this a certain historical event than they were to this other historical event, type of thing.
But on that note, this has been the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. Once again, thank you to Tobias for helping make sure that this podcast actually happened.
Yay.
And thank you for allowing me to allow it to happen.
That's right. And before we get to the other bits and bobs, where can people normally listen for your wonderful voice?
Well, you can find, I guess, on generally, are we doing like just general stuff, or are you asking me specifically about the podcast?
I am.
I was going to do Twitter. Well,
give us whatever you wanted to give us.
Okay, gotcha.
Give us all your plugs.
Okay, well, you can normally find my ramblings and offbeat comedy stylings at Twitter, at Reverend_Tobias. And you can occasionally hear my voice and opinions, hot takes about anime and Japanese media on the Third Impact Anime podcast. That is thirdimpactanime.com. I think the last episode I was on, it was one of our Otakumentaries series where we review otaku-based documentaries. And that was on Otaku Unite from the early 2000s. That was very much a trip. Very wild if you were sort of part of con culture back in those buck wild days of the early 2000s.
Nice. So, also, big props to our wonderful editor, Anna. Our theme song is done by DJ Inabito. You can find his stuff at djinabito.com. Our website is awesomcast.com. We also do have a Patreon and Discord that you can throw us cash at, or possibly join the Discord and chat with us about all sorts of things. You can also leave us Apple Podcast reviews, because those things are what actually shoots us up in the rankings. It actually gets people to look at us and download us and listen to us, and hopefully cause a chain reaction of more really positive 5-star Apple Podcast reviews, so we can just keep getting higher and higher and higher. But unless we get those reviews, that will never happen. Anyways, I'm on Twitter at It's Basil Time. Dylan, where you at?
At Dylan Wolf.
And Jen, where you at?
I'm looking that up because I don't know. At Jennifer Bidwell.
But I also know that you have a pretty cool side hustle that has a name and everything, and at the very least, an Instagram account.
Jelly Spoon Productions on Instagram and Facebook.
So there you go. And while he is not here to pimp himself, I'll do it for him. John, our wonderful podcast Nakama, as well as the greatest living interviewer. He is on Twitch at TheseRVG. That's for These Are Video Games. I was about to say podcast. He Twitches, I believe, Wednesday nights and Friday nights.
Yes.
And he would very much like you to follow them, subscribe to them. If you happen to have a leftover Amazon Prime for something, go ahead and throw that free to them if you're not using it for anything else, because they could use it and you're not. So, go for it. I am also on Twitch at its Basil time. Hopefully, by the point that this episode goes out, I am streaming again. Life's been pretty hectic lately, and I have not really had the chance, but hopefully that will happen soon. But until then, and until next time, thank you all for listening. We're out.
The burger and the bun, the burger and the bun. Ho hum, so much fun, the burger and the bun. Next let's add the cheese, next let's add the cheese. Yum yum, pretty please, we would like some cheese. Then we'll take some pickles, then we'll take some pickles. Come on, don't be fickle, let's put on some pickles. Let's add some tomato, let's add some tomato. Veggies will help us grow, so we'll get some tomato. Get some onion too, get some onion too. 1, 2, that'll do, we'll take some onion too. Now it's time to eat, now it's time to eat. This cheeseburger can't be beat, now it's time to eat. Yum!
Well, I mean, we've been saying for like a long time now that Kevin will certainly eat for food, and yet Kevin is not one of the ones who participated.
I think what we learned is there are no rules, even as we try to make rules, and that is the dangerous precedent.
No rules, just right.